Overnight, Washington just changed the game. While most Americans were asleep, Congress pushed through one of the most controversial and far-reaching bills in years. A decision made in the dark of night could ripple across every corner of America, from your paycheck to your health care, from schools to small businesses. This isn't just a headline. This is history in motion. And if you want to stay ahead of the noise, not just with news, but with the lessons behind it, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell. Because moments like this don't just change politics, they change lives. And together we'll uncover not only what happened, but what it truly means for America's future. Here's what went down. Congress passed the One Big, Beautiful Bill Act, also called H.R. 1. Don't let the name fool you. This isn't a small adjustment. This is a sweeping overhaul that touches almost every area of American life. So what's in it? Let's break it down. First, taxes. The bill reshapes the tax code, cutting corporate rates and expanding certain business incentives. Some middle-income households may see modest relief, but critics say the majority of benefits tilt toward larger companies and higher-income earners. Second, health care. This is where it gets heated. The bill introduces stricter work requirements for Medicaid and other assistance programs. Supporters argue this promotes responsibility and reduces costs. Opponents warn millions could lose coverage, especially those in vulnerable communities. Third, infrastructure and energy. Billions are pledged to rebuild highways, strengthen energy grids, and support new energy projects. That means potential jobs, but also questions, where will the money actually flow? Will rural towns see improvements, or will it stay concentrated in major cities? Fourth, social programs. Some unspent federal funds have been clawed back. Money once promised to states and counties for housing, disaster relief, or local aid may no longer arrive. Finally, the cost. According to bipartisan estimates, this bill could increase the federal deficit by trillions over the next decade. Defenders say that growth from new jobs and businesses will offset the expense. Skeptics aren't convinced. In short, it's a bill that promises renewal and growth, but carries risks of deeper inequality and heavier financial burdens. Overnight, the course of the nation's budget and its people was rewritten. So who stands to gain from this overnight decision? Winners first. Business owners, especially in energy and infrastructure, will likely benefit from tax breaks and new incentives. Investors, as markets anticipate a wave of federally supported projects. Local governments that secure infrastructure funding may see growth in jobs and development. Now the losers. Low-income families depending on health care. Support may face stricter eligibility and reduced coverage. Rural communities that relied on delayed federal funds could be left stranded. Future taxpayers, because the rising deficit doesn't vanish, it eventually comes due. And there's a wild card: everyday Americans. If infrastructure truly improves, if jobs actually arrive, then yes, many could benefit. But if promises stall, if money gets lost in bureaucracy, then citizens may feel betrayed yet again. The truth is, this bill doesn't just redistribute money. It redistributes trust. And that might be the most valuable and fragile currency of all. Here's the bigger picture. This law is both a gamble and a message. A gamble because it bets on growth to offset massive spending. A message because it signals a shift, government, prioritizing large-scale projects and reforms while trimming certain social protections. For Washington, it's a political victory. For the people, it's a question mark. We've seen this story before: grand promises of renewal, jobs, and change. Sometimes it works. Often it stalls under red tape, political infighting, or lack of accountability. That's why the real battle doesn't end with Congress. It begins now, in how states implement these changes, in how communities monitor the flow of funds, and in whether citizens demand transparency. Because policies on paper mean nothing if they don't translate to action on the ground. The difference between success and failure lies not only in leaders, but in us, The people who refuse to let promises dissolve into headlines. Now, let's shift from politics to perspective. This bill, whether you cheer it or fear it, teaches a timeless lesson. Change never waits for permission. We can choose to be passive, scrolling past headlines, complaining on social media. Or we can choose to be active, informed, engaged, demanding that promises are kept. So don't let this be another story you hear and forget. Let it be a wake-up call to stay aware, to ask questions, to fight not just for yourself, but for the generations who will inherit the consequences. Washington just changed the game. But remember, the game isn't over. The bill is signed. The votes are cast. But the story is still being written by you, by me, by everyone who dares to care about the future of this country. So stay informed, stay engaged, and never underestimate the power of people to turn politics into progress. If you found this breakdown valuable, if you want to keep uncovering the truth behind the headlines, hit like, subscribe, and share this video. Because America's future isn't just in Congress, it's in all of us. The decision was made overnight, but its impact will last a lifetime. The only question is, what will we do with it?